House of Underdog Talk, man. House of Underdog Pod, man. We back with another one. You know, we jumping straight in. We ain't sticking our toes in to see if the water cold tonight. We coming with that NBA talk, man. As you know, trade deadline, February 5th. It's been a couple moves. Dennis Schroeder and Keon Ellis traded to Cleveland for DeAndre Hunter. My initial thoughts on that would be Cleveland's racking up. They trying to win now. Dennis Schroeder is a winner. No matter where he goes, no matter what team, he's a winner. He impacts winning. Keon Ellis impacts winning. So I think it's a good move. Kings, pretty sure they trying to unload off on Sabonis, DeRozan, and Levine. So I think, DeAndre Hunter will be a solid piece going forward. He's 28 years old, so, a good versatile 6'8", versatile on both ends of the floor player. So I think, they thinking lottery top 5 pick anyway, so they can match him with one of these young players plus a Keegan Murray already. So I think he's for the future. Moving forward, Jaren Jackson Jr. from the Memphis Grizzlies traded to the Utah Jazz for Walter Clayton Jr., Slow-Mo, a.k.a. Kyle Anderson, Taylor Hendricks, George Niang, and 3 first-round picks, bro. Bro, Memphis snapped. Bro, they traded 4 picks for Desmond. They received 4 first-round picks for Desmond Bane in the offseason, and they just traded Jaren Jackson for 3 first-round picks. They got a total of, if I'm not mistaken, 12 first-round picks in the next 7 years. They just grabbed 7 first-round picks out of 2 of their players, out of Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson. So Memphis definitely going to be loaded up on some Sam Presti shit and OKC type of timing with their future. I would expect them to move Ja just to get more first-round picks. I'm pretty sure if you can get 3 for Jaren, you can at least get 1 for Ja. You know what I'm saying? So I think going forward, they're in a good place for their future for sure. I expect Memphis to have a OKC type of, run within these next 4 years. So we'll see, but they got a lot of first-round draft picks, a lot of mobility and freedom to make some room, especially with that Ja piece still there. So, and if you Utah, I love it. I love it. You got Keontae George. You can fuck around and go Ace Bailey at the 2, Laurie at the 3, Jaren Jackson at the 4, and, Walker Kessler at the 5. So that's a big lineup. They all complement each other. The floor is space because Walker Kessler can shoot the 3 ball now. So I love that for Utah. Them not moving on from Laurie marketing is good now because you got a big man who complements him on the defensive end, both 7 foot. Both of their ass can't rebound, but they will complement each other. So I love it for Utah for sure. That's a hell of a move. 3-team trade. Minnesota trading Mike Conley. Detroit trading Jaden Ivey to the Chicago Bulls. And Kevin Harden and Dario Saric to the Pistons. I don't like that move for the Pistons because the Pistons is a piece away. And they just traded down in one of their top assets outside of Tobias Harris because of contract purposes. So I don't like that move for Detroit. Again, I think they're a piece away, preferably a scorer away. Another guy who can complement Cade and put it on the ground and score, create. I think last year they had Dennis Schroeder, Malik Beasley. But I think this year their record is a little better. But come playoff basketball, I think they're a piece away. I think they needed another scorer. Like I just said, they traded one of their top assets away outside of Tobias Harris because of contract purposes. So I really didn't understand the move. Minnesota is trying to obviously do something to clear up space for maybe Giannis. So, we'll see, man. Hell of a move. But I don't like the move by Detroit at all. Another move, Chicago is trading Nikola Vucevic to Boston. Excuse me. Chicago is trading Nikola Vucevic and a second-round pick to Boston for Ant Simons and a second-round pick. Don't like it if I'm Boston. Ant Simons been hooping. I don't think if your plan was to trade him, even when you got him this offseason, I don't think they managed the situation right. I don't think they put him in a opportunity to play at his highest value that he could have played. Him coming off the bench, 20, 24 minutes. I feel like he should have been a starter over Peyton Pritchard. I think Peyton Pritchard is a hell of a player, a good player in this league. I just think Ant Simon's ceiling is higher. And they could have definitely squeezed all that juice out that lemon with Ant Simons to, for him being a starter and for him to be able to up his value the more he would play. But they got Nikola Vucevic. I don't like it because he's mid-30s on the back end of the 30s as far as the age. And I just don't like it. But, I see what they're trying to do. Similar to when they won a championship run, being able to space the floor with their bigs. I just don't like that they had to give up Ant Simons for that. But it is what it is. Nah, notice how I just said Chicago got Jaden Ivey as well, and they got Ant Simons. So I think Chicago is definitely gonna make a move and try to get Kobe White out of there. I think that opens up something for AD possibly to Chicago, because all them guard, you got Josh Giddey, you got Kobe White, you got Ant Simons, you got Ayo, you got hold on, let me re-say that. You got Josh Giddey, you got Kobe White, you got Ayo, you got Ant Simons and Jaden Ivey. Yeah, they definitely they got at least one or two more moves broiling up. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to have them all them guards, so I expect them to make a move. Maybe an Anthony Davis, but they definitely are not done cooking up for sure. And then the biggest one so far is the James Harden trade. James Harden has been traded to Cleveland for Darius Garland and a second-round pick. Harden is a hell of a player. He's definitely always been able to finesse his way into a contract, and in a good situation. He's never been on no bullshit team. He's always been able to, when it's about that time for a contract and somebody's not trying to pay, he's always been able to finesse his way into a new contract and a new situation, in a good situation. So from Cleveland, yeah, you're trying to win now. I don't really like the move per se. Is Harden that much better than Darius Garland in the playoffs? We've seen what Harden is like in the playoffs. Harden is a hell of a player, for sure. I fuck with Harden. Harden is in his mid-30s, close to back-end 30s. Darius Garland is a younger player. James Harden is a ball-dominant guard to me. I don't like... He can play off-ball, but he's not an off-ball player. So him and Donovan Mitchell, I think it's going to take a little time for it to click. But Harden is a hell of a pick-and-roll player. So he's going to actually unlock Evan Mobley. He's going to unlock Jared Allen. He will be beneficial in that. Interested to see, though, how it's going to work in the playoffs as far as... Because is he that much more impactful than Darius Garland in the playoffs? You know what I'm saying? If you're the Clippers, it's a win. I think Harden wanted a contract extension 2 years, $80 million. That's $40 a year. You got Darius Garland making, close to that 39, 42, 44 so over these next 3 years. So, I mean, it's just, you would pay Garland that because he's 26 years old. You see what I'm saying? He's 26 years old. And, yeah, I mean, I think is well, if you the Clippers, you got your future point guard. You got something that you can build around outside of Kawhi whatever you decide to do with that in the future. Obviously, you still trying to win, you know what I'm saying? But just going forward, you got your point guard. The skill is there. The flash is there. Potentially like a box office type of player with his skill set. So I think if you the Clippers, you thinking you won this trade. If you the Cavaliers, you trying to win now. But let's just say, shit, Harden can pull the same thing a year or two from now. It might want out, so could backfire on Cleveland, but it's a win now situation. He will unlock their big man for sure in Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. I think he will get it together with him and Donovan Mitchell for sure. But we'll see. I expect some big trades soon. It's just in the midst of it. You see what I'm saying? It's just that House of Underdog talk in the midst of it. It's very interesting. Some teams I want to see what they're going to do. Of course, Giannis is the big piece. Is he going to Golden State? Is he going to Miami? Is he going to New York? Is Milwaukee going to keep him? I think if he does get traded by the trade deadline, it's definitely going to shake up the league. If he doesn't get traded at the trade deadline and the Thunder does not win a championship, the Thunder should definitely look to trade for Giannis. You got hella first round picks, and you in that you can throw Milwaukee 4 of them bitches and give up a Lou Dort, give up you got pieces that you can give up and still keep some pieces. So if I'm the Thunder, I'm looking, if they don't move Giannis before the deadline, and if the Thunder don't win a ship, you got to look towards Giannis. It only makes sense. You got the first round picks, the assets to make it make sense. So we'll see with that Giannis situation. It's definitely a tricky situation. I think Minnesota's thinking about going all in. I think Miami have a hell of an offer. So I think it's out of them two teams. We're going to see, though. Personalities and shit got to click, too, though. Like, it's going to be, it's not going to be Giannis, revolved around Giannis anymore. If you go over there with Minnesota, that's ant shit. You know what I'm saying? So the whole vibe and swagger different. You feel me? And they not fitting in with you. So, sometimes the grass ain't always greener. As far as that ego talk, just being able to, again, you in Milwaukee, that shit around you. They building that team around you. They making sure the personalities match for you, the roles match for you. When you get traded and you on somebody else's boat, it's a little different. So we'll see. We'll see. Definitely gonna be some couple more moves. I think Miami make a move. Looking to see what Golden State gonna do. Lake Show. Looking to see what Dallas gonna do with a couple of their assets. Is they gonna move AD, Clay, D-Lo, Clippers? I think they still a move away. I think regardless of if Harden didn't ask for that, they still needed another scorer. To come out that bench or whatnot. It's a couple teams though that I'm very interested in see. I think Toronto could make a splash. Sacramento, is they gonna unload off on Zach and DeMar and Sabonis. Houston, what does Houston do? Pelicans, are they trying to get off on Trey Murphy, DeJounte Murray? Does Houston check in with DeJounte Murray? So I think New Orleans Pelicans, they haven't even played Jordan Poole recently, so he's on the block. It's very interesting out here as far as in the league. Trade deadline, the 5th. I think that's this Thursday. So, is Atlanta done making moves? I think Atlanta will be a good fit for Harden. Just speaking from Harden's point of view, him being that guy. Not saying that he's not the guy, but he's the guy with the Clippers alongside Kawhi. But him being 1A in Atlanta, the scenery, the lifestyle, the rappers, the little babies, the boosies, all the stuff in Atlanta that come with it, plus the payday. I think that's an option. Does Brooklyn keep MPJ and Cam Thomas? Does Indiana make a move for next year? You see what I'm saying? Does Orlando stay content? Does Charlotte Hornets make a move for a center? You know what I'm saying? Do they go after Jared Allen? You feel me? Do they go after a Cat? Do they go after, cause they a center away? They've been hot, but they still they get a center. They can that's the next puzzle piece for Charlotte. That's a good center. Chicago, you saw the moves that I said earlier that they did with the guard play. So obviously they one big splash away. It's just completing what they started today. Detroit, I didn't like that trade that they did. I think they a scorer away. The Knicks, do they stay content? Or do they go for the Giannis? You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be very interesting. I think the Spurs stay content. I don't think Portland's in a rush to do anything. I think Denver is pretty content. They just got hit with the injury bug. Phoenix, they could do something, but I don't think they're going to be too tempted. But, yeah, I think it's just getting started. I think it's about 2 to 3 big splashes, maybe 4, but 2 to 3 big splashes and some great trades along the way within these next 48 hours. So we'll see, man. Just House of Underdog talk, House of Underdog pod, man. Stay tuned.